Why is this so hard? Ah! It's okay? Can you hear me? Okay. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. We're back with another one, and today's topic is I'm sorry, I'm still having a bit of a trauma, PTSD from the previous video and the comments, and I just wanted to take this time to say to people, especially everyone that were offended or the content didn't sit right with them, I don't give a shit. Okay, on to the next one.
हमारे धर्म में महिलाओं को पूजनीय माना गया है। उन्हें साक्षात माँ लक्ष्मी का प्रतिबिंब माना जाता है। अगर आप किसी महिला का अपमान करते हैं अथवा अपशब्द में उससे बात करते हैं तो यह माँ लक्ष्मी का अपमान माना जाता है।
Today's topic is going to be about this notion of, specifically in Hinduism, when people say that women are like goddesses, they are Devika Roop, Ghar ki Lakshmi. When a woman is fierce or something, she gets compared to Durga or Kali or out for justice. We will break down into why this works with patriarchy and also why a lot of men like to say that women are goddesses and stuff, but a lot of women believe in this notion as well. Like especially when I first shared this post on my account, some women were commenting and or DMing me telling me that, oh, I kind of like being called a goddess, I like being compared to Mata Kali and things like that. This is my take on when people say women are like goddesses. So let's start with what constitutes to being a goddess. A goddess is a divine being. She is not a human, first of all.
महिलाएं तेजस्वी बालक को जन्म देती है जो आगे चलकर अपने कुल का नाम सारे संसार में रोशन करता है।
Someone who is so perfect and has no room for imperfection, and because of this, expectations of purity and virtue without flaws are put on the women, essentially robbing them of their humanity and their agency. And contrary to popular Hindu belief, women make mistakes, women rebel, women have emotions and opinions and feelings, because guess what? Women are human. Women are mortal beings. We don't live forever like goddesses do. And oftentimes, the very men that claim that women are goddesses and that they should be treasured and protected as such are the same men who will strip a woman of her dignity and cut her mortal life short.
ताली कभी एक हाथ से नहीं बजती, दोनों हाथों से बजती है। अगर कोई शरीफ लड़की होती है रात को 9 बजे मतलब नहीं घूमती।
ताली दोनों हाथों से बजती है, आपको भी पता है। अगर लड़की सामने से कुछ करेगी तो लड़का तो ऑब्वियस है उसको प्लस पॉइंट समझ के उसको फिर से छेड़ेगा।
So you are saying that women invite rape?
हाँ।
Women invite rape.
Yes.
And this next statement I think holds true to most religions, where man sees himself in God. And I believe it's also the case with Hinduism, because we're also told that there is a God inside all of you. So there's a God in every man and there's a goddess in every woman. But in Hinduism, if we were to talk Durga and Shakti, she is created by combining the powers of the three big gods, Brahma, Vishnu and Shivaji, and she's created by these male gods by focusing their power. So essentially, a goddess comes from a god. But that's all just like mythical religious stuff, right? But I want to talk about in real life. In real life, why aren't men then expected to act like these gods that they supposedly are? Why is the expectations of holding up this divinity and being righteous and being this perfect human being only placed on women?
मीठी वाली बोलने वाली महिला को साक्षात देवी लक्ष्मी का स्वरूप माना गया है। ऐसी महिलाओं के घर पर होने से सुख और समृद्धि आती है। दूसरी है गृह दक्षा, जो महिलाएं अपने गृह कार्यों को भलीभांति जानती है और उन्हें पूरी जिम्मेदारी से निभाती है, उसे गृह दक्षा कहा जाता है। जो महिलाएं आलसी होती है एवं घर के कार्य ठीक तरीके से नहीं करती एवं दिन रात सोती रहती है, ऐसी महिलाएं अशुभ होती है। ऐसे घर में लक्ष्मी कभी प्रवेश नहीं करती।
And interestingly, when men fumble and commit heinous crimes against women, it's suddenly, oh, he's not a man, he's just a boy. But the same people don't leave any room for a woman to even act like a human. She has to be perfect, like a goddess. I'm a South Asian woman, okay? I live in a South Asian country. My family is very Hindu. I am constantly surrounded by these customs and traditions and these ideals. I just wanted to read to you guys a conversation that I had with a man about this concept of goddesses in Hinduism, and this is what he had to say. Okay, so he says, well, we keep goddess idols in a puja room. We place it there because it's precious. Where do we keep precious things? In a locker, so that it's safe and not easy to steal.
You can say the girl or woman are more precious than a gem, than a diamond. If you put your diamond on the street, certainly the dog will take it out. You can't stop.
Personally, you know what? I can somewhat get behind the notion that this comes from wanting to protect and treasure the women in your life. But this mindset is perpetuating a culture where we are putting an entire society's honor and grace and dignity on the female sex, which then also paradigmically cultivates an environment for rape culture and becomes a breeding ground for toxic purity culture and also victim blaming, because then if anything were to happen to the woman, oh, why didn't you just stay in the perfect little cage we made for you? This happened to you because you left the cage.
तुम घर से आए हो, तुम अपना टाइम से यहाँ से 10-11 बजे अपने घर जा रही हो, ये कोई बात थोड़ी है। अपना 8-8:30 अपने पीजी जाओ, 10-10:30 बजे बंद हो जाता तुम्हारा पीजी। तो मैं कई लड़कियों को भी इस बारे में गलती मानूंगा कि वो अपने कंट्रोल में नहीं चल रही थी।
आखिरी बार जब हम उसको हॉस्पिटल में मिले, उसने हाथ में हमारा हाथ लेके चूमा और बोला कि सॉरी मम्मी, हमने आपको बहुत तकलीफ दिया। आई एम सॉरी।
Don't you guys think it's so interesting how men only suddenly remember that women are goddesses when there are these like brutal cases of sexual violence? Something horrific happens and suddenly it's like, oh, girls are meant to be treasured and protected and all these epitome of goddesses, you know, let's band together so these things don't happen to them. I personally really firmly believe that this very thought that you have to see women as goddesses, it's what's cultivating this rape culture. And also I see it as another tactic to just divert attention from the actual perpetrators and male violence, which is the actual cause of those crimes, and is shifting the focus on the victim who didn't play her part as being a perfect little goddess, rather than the criminal who's actually committing these crimes.
Because even people, I mean girls who wear sari, they also get, like molested and all.
How about providing actual measures of safety rather than putting half of your population in a box? And while we're on the topic, if anybody needs locking up at home and staying home, it's men. 99% of violent crimes are committed by men. So I personally think that's the demographic that should be locked up, not the victims.
Need to be trained rather than girls that you should not go outside at the midnight.
एक तो हम लड़कियों को बोलते हैं कि रेप ना होने दो, लेकिन लड़कों को हम ये नहीं बोलते हैं कि रेप ना।
From that, I also want to touch upon this lack of public visibility that South Asian women have. I grew up in England, which is a seemingly equal society when it comes to gender at least. And having been here for the last 2 years, it really kind of shocked me how little women are actually in public spaces, things to do with hobbies or recreational stuff. Restaurants and cafes, which are always predominantly occupied by men, and it's almost as if we live in a society that doesn't allow for women to exist in public, which again I think could link back to the whole notion of wanting to put women at home and in their safe space, because if they go outside they're not safe.
तो मतलब आप ये कह रहे हैं कि हमें अपनी लड़की को बोलना चाहिए टाइम से जाए, या फिर हमें एनवायरनमेंट ऐसा बनाना चाहिए जो कि लड़कियां किसी भी टाइम जाए वो सेफ रहे?
नहीं बेटा, टाइम से ही आना चाहिए लड़कियों की जात को, तो एक वो बनाया गया कि लड़की ज्यादा टाइम.
And the thing is, when they do go outside, then all these crimes are happening to them. Then it also kind of makes me sometimes think like the entire society is working together to come up with this plan that in order for our point to work, these things will happen, because then now they have a justifying thing to say about, oh, see, we told you to stay at home, we told you not to go anywhere, works in a cycle of where then the women and girls are led to believe like, oh, okay, like maybe we are safer at home and we should not be outside and exist in, say, public spaces, because then our safety gets compromised. So it kind of feels like the whole patriarchy is just working together, and it looks to me like a threat. It's like a threat when something happens in a public space to women, is like saying, this is not your place, like you should not be existing here, this is only for men, so go back in your box.
Mean when you say that she is like a diamond and the dog will come and take the diamond?
I tell you, what is the everything is counted the value. हमारे यहाँ सबसे ज्यादा कीमती चीज को हम जिस तरह से सुरक्षित रखते हैं, हमें उससे भी ज्यादा सुरक्षित अपने लेडीज को रखना चाहिए हमारी सोसाइटी में. इट्स ड्यूटी ऑफ द मैन टू प्रोटेक्ट लेडी इन ऑल सर्कमस्टेंसेस, इन ऑल मैनर, either they are known or unknown to them.
And I just want to kind of put this all together and just say that women are people, not a goddess or a diamond or a flower or any other inanimate object that you have to protect and treasure and keep away, locked in a box somewhere in the far corner of your house. And I know a lot of people, especially South Asian men, and don't act like, yeah, but I'll be saying this shiz already. Like every time I speak up against like cultural and traditional customs and things like that, I always get hit with the, oh, like don't bring those Western ideas into.
We have the best culture. In our culture, there is no place for a woman.
If people really want to claim this as part of their culture and their tradition, then I don't want any part in a culture and religion that is based on my subjugation as a woman, just for it to be disguised as protection.
महिला का स्थान नहीं हो सकता सोसाइटी में अगर वो माँ नहीं है, अगर वो माँ नहीं है, बेटी नहीं है, बहन नहीं है या बीवी नहीं है, तो उसका स्थान ही नहीं है.
नहीं, गलत बात. हमारे सोसाइटी में किसी भी महिलाओं को औरत की नजर से देखे जाने का कोई स्थान नहीं है. जो पुरुष, कोई भी पुरुष चाहे किसी उम्र का हो, अगर वो किसी भी स्त्री को औरत की नजर से देखेगा, इसका मतलब उसको गंदी नजर से देखेगा. हमारी सोसाइटी में औरत का कोई स्थान नहीं. हमारी सोसाइटी में स्थान है महिला का.
And if protection is what people really are after when they are going around describing women, then why not protect these women before these kind of acts happen? Why not protect these women after these acts happen to them? Why do you blame them, and why do you shun them from society and hold them at a lower level than the actual perpetrators? Protect them when their husband dies. Why do you let widows be shunned away in society as if they are bad luck and stuff? Protect them then. Why is this whole protection and treating women as goddesses and it's convenient for you? And I just really want to go back to the point of, usually for protection, if you really want someone to be protected, you arm them, not lock them up. Women don't deserve respect just because they are some divine holy beings or because they gave birth to you or your child. They deserve respect just like you expect respect from others. Because guess what? We're all human. Instead of teaching boys to see girls as goddesses and flowers in need of protection, please teach them to see girls as fellow humans, equally deserving of respect and safety as much as them. I'm pretty sure I speak for all women when I say we don't want to be worshipped like goddesses. We just wanted to be respected as people. Or better yet, we just want to be left alone.
सेफ तो सब जगह है और सेफ भी सब है. मेन बात है बंदे कैसे हैं वहाँ के. मेन बंदों पे डिपेंड करता है, तो बंदों के ऊपर डिपेंड है कि भाई वो कैसे ट्रीट कर रहे हैं. अगर मेरे साथ लड़की है तो लड़की अकेली जा रही है तो उसे कैसे ट्रीट कर रहे हैं.
So I asked some of my followers their sentiments on this matter, and I just wanted to share with you. And some of them are already things and points I've already talked about in the video, but let's listen to it anyway. So one of you guys said, this is something that I've recently made up my mind about the women are goddesses statement. How I've come to look at it is like they put women in a pedestal like an idol or a statue like a goddess, and then they dictate where they're put us, how we will be carved, and they don't expect us to move from the pedestal because the statue wouldn't, and they can control everything and then get the excuse to say, we put you on a pedestal, what more do you want? The statement is too literal that I don't even want to think about the divinity of goddesses because I don't think they believe in that. I cannot believe that you can believe in the divinity of women to treat them as goddesses and then go abuse, disrespect them on a daily basis. They mean statues, like literal statues, when they say that we are goddesses. And this is something that someone else said. I don't know if it adds or takes anything away from it, but this is from one of my male followers. He said, first, let me say I don't believe in God, okay? And secondly, in India, people say women are goddesses and treat them like shit, so it's kind of ironical. But to be honest, women are smart, beautiful, intelligent creatures, but they are just human beings. They are flawed too. Comparing someone with a god is saying they are perfect, which humans are not. They make mistakes, women make mistakes. They learn from them, try to better themselves, and that's what being a woman is. Being a better human, not a goddess. Amen. This one is from one of my Nepalese male followers, so I'm gonna take a while because I have to translate it in my head. He thinks this whole notion of women are goddesses is the same as saying, I want to get cancelled by my people, but he said he thinks that this statement, women are goddesses, is the same thing as saying like, oh, Nepalese are brave Gurkhas. Technically, it could be true from one point of view, but if women really are goddesses, then they should be treated as such. But they are judged by the smallest of things, and the statement itself is very I'm sorry, I can't translate. The statement itself is good, but the way we utilize that is not good. He also said, so if we can say that women are goddesses, then we can also say men are gods, right? Technically, because man sees himself in God, hence he sees women as goddesses. But what kind of gods are they? Do gods rape goddesses or what? Or do they harass and do other crimes? Well, this could be another video because I did a post on the mythical nature of religion and the rape culture and that. So technically, I think, I don't know if many people know, but yes, our gods in Hinduism were not such righteous, good people, I suppose. I don't know, maybe they do think they're gods and that's why they're fumbling and effing around like the gods did. But then this guy said, I want to ask these to men from now on. And so he wants to go around asking men like, oh, do you think you're a god, like if you think women are goddesses? And he thinks that most men just use this as an excuse because so that women should he should use
One eternity later.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will be making more of these videos going forward, and to keep up to date with what I post and my content, please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I want to thank the people that gave me their insights, and I just want to thank everyone for watching this video till now. If you don't already follow me, please follow me on Instagram. And just to conclude this entire video as a whole, I think in most religions, right, God is a man. And even in Hinduism, people like to say, yeah, but we have goddesses too. But can you please really say with your entire chest that God and goddesses in Hinduism hold the same power? Like how Eve was made from Adam's rib. All goddesses are avatars of Shakti Ma, right? But Shakti Ma herself was created by these three male gods. Essentially, she also came from a male god. But what really baffles me in all of these religious scriptures and these religious beliefs is creator of life is woman. Okay, that's something no one can argue with me about. So when did we decide that God is a man?
What those people said is what we need to concentrate on. हर चीज का दारोमदार क्या सिर्फ औरत पर ही आता है? एक तरफ से हम कहते हैं बेटी बचाओ बेटी बढ़ाओ, इसकी इज्जत करना एक माइंडसेट की बात है. We have to tackle this problem right from the grassroots, from where the mindset becomes such that you insult women, you do not understand that they give consent, the right to their bodies to give consent is theirs. It cannot be abrogated to somebody else. They need to be able to feel safe at all times. ऐसी व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए. लेकिन इसका दारोमदार आदमियों पर है, पुरुषों पर है, उन माओं पर है जो अपने बच्चों को ये सिखाकर बड़ा करती हैं कि बेटी का काम ये है घर में बेड कवर लगा दे, चाय बना दे, खाना बना दे, 7 बजे के बाद बंद होकर बैठ जा, मोबाइल फोन भी नहीं होना चाहिए, तू जीन्स नहीं पहन सकती। क्या जो औरतें बुरखे में होती हैं, जो साड़ी में होती हैं, जो घूंघट में होती हैं, उनका बलात्कार नहीं होता? क्या सिर्फ जीन्स वालियों का बलात्कार होता है? और जीन्स का इससे क्या लेना देना? दिस इज द थिंकिंग, अनफॉर्चुनेटली। वी नीड टू हैव प्रोग्राम्स इन आवर schools, ma'am. We need to have programs in our schools so that mindset change is brought about, and also with the elders of the village, because those are generations which have already reached a point right from childhood, so that they respect women, they realize consent belongs to the women, and the right to how she dresses, how she speaks belongs to her.